Coming up this week ahead, knowledge enthusiasts and book lovers can rejoice. The summer reading program is exactly what you're looking for. We'll talk to our children's librarian about that. And what about the construction across the city? What's happening and what should you look out for? Plus, City Council is convening twice in an off week. Why? We'll tell you this week ahead. All right, you know that joke. There's two seasons in North Dakota. Blah, 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 blah. Construction and winter. Good joke when you're navigating orange cones or dodging potholes on a busy road. It's obviously not correct. Little did you know, we actually have three seasons: construction, winter, and reading season. That's what we're starting this week ahead. Well, 2 weeks ahead, actually. There's now a couple of events starting in June that involve the most impactful practice us humans have created for educating ourselves: reading. The mayor, in fact, issued a proclamation at last Monday's City Council meeting about a community effort called Read 20.
One is the Summer of Reading for 20. Proclamation reads, whereas research has proven that reading for just 20 minutes a day can drastically improve students' test scores and increase their vocabulary. Whereas reading will not only help in school success, but will stimulate imagination, which can introduce children to concepts, cultures, and possibilities beyond their own experiences, and thereby building empathy. Whereas when children read for 20 minutes a day, they can be hearing and thus learning up to 1.8 million words a year.
Now, while a kickoff event for that program will be on June 3rd, a few days before that, we'll be kicking off the Minot Public Library's reading program. That event starts on June 1st at the Minot Public Library. It's a common program that is absolutely fantastic for young children that enjoy that usual bedtime book, but it's also for teens and adults. It rewards you for reading. We'll talk about those rewards in just a second. But what I really want you to focus on is what's happening with the program. Our 2020 summer reading program was very different last year than it was all of the years before. It was more digital due to, of course, that pandemic that we dealt with. What we're seeing now in 2021 is the light that we spent months chasing as a world, a normal. A live event kickoff for an important community event is coming up in June. This year, our summer reading program is more than just reading and learning. It's a sign of normalcy for us and for the hundreds of kids that participate in the program. This is a new beginning for our usual traditions. I urge you to take advantage of our summer reading program, regardless of your age. If for no other reason than we really didn't get to experience the way we should have last year. Enjoy the sunrise on this third season, our summer reading season. Now let's get into what the tangible benefits are for the summer reading program and what those will be. I want to bring in sort of the life of the party. If you follow the Minot Public Library on social media, you'll recognize her face, voice, and of course her energy. Our children's librarian, it's Randy Moneling. Randy, good morning.
Hi, Derek. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Let's start off by talking about what the summer reading program is. Why exactly do we do this event, Randy?
Well, we do summer reading, at least for kids and teens, because of the summer slide. And that is when kids lose about 2 months worth of school knowledge during the summer without reading. So by reading during the summer, they can help get rid of that summer slide and retain that information. And it's important for teens as well.
So the goal is learning and reading. How exactly does it work?
All right, so I've got some information for you. Summer reading is going to be super fun this year. We're going to continue to use our Beanstack program, but we're going to do it a little different. So for teens, adults, and kids, all you have to do to complete is read 5 books during the summer. Pretty easy peasy. And it doesn't matter if the kids are reading the books or if the books are being read to them. All of that matters to us. When you read all those books, you log them in Beanstack, and after 5 books, kids, they're going to win a book, a book in their own level, whichever level they like to read in. Teens are going to get a $10 gift card from a bookstore, either Main Street Books or Barnes and Noble. And adults are going to be able to put their names in for grand prize drawings.
So in our pre-show chat here, Randy, you mentioned this year is going to be a little different. The purpose, of course, is the same. The metrics are very similar, but the payoff is a little bit different. Tell us about that.
It is. So we're really excited this year to kind of give back to the community. And we've got a couple different ways that we're doing that. But one of them for the children is when they read a book, they're going to get 10 cents to put toward one of our charities, a local charity. So they get to put it toward the Souris Valley Animal Shelter, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which is through the United Way, or the Lord's Cupboard. So, all different charities that may resonate with children who may be going through hunger or getting those books from Dolly Parton every month, something that really resonates with them. And they're going to be able to get 10 cents up to $1. So for the first 10 books they read, they're going to get a dime.
How do you kind of sign up for this? Is it a show up and participate? Is there somewhere people can go to actually sign up for this? How does that work?
Yeah, so since we're using a digital platform again this year, it's going to be the Beanstack site, the website, or also they have an app, and the app is super easy to use. That's what I used last year for me and my kiddos. It's pretty fun, and it's a nice way to engage with the kids about, like, okay, you read this, and you can write a review and all that sort of fun stuff. And you get your badges, and it's fun.
Is that just, can you just Google Beanstack? Is that how you can find that?
Google Beanstack Minot Public Library.
Okay, so there's an active component that you mentioned, and that's the learning side of this program. What type of activities are you looking to unfold for this summer?
Well, of course, we're going to have story times in person because that's what we do. That's our bread and butter. So we're going to have story times Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock. We're also going to have camps for older kids. So those are going to be kindergarten through fifth grade. And those are Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at 2. We're going to have 4 different camps this summer. So we're going to have Tales Camp, where we're going to learn about different animals. We're going to have coding camp. We're going to have STEAM camp, so those science, technology, engineering, art, and math principles. And then we're also going to have an art camp. And art camp's going to be really exciting this year because Margie Lee from the Tobby Museum is going to be leading all of our art camps. And remember, these are for free.
That's an important aspect. The cost is quite affordable, free to participate. Do you have an itinerary for a lot of this stuff out there right now, where people can sort of find more information as we lead up to the kickoff event?
Of course. So we have brochures and calendars in the library, but also you can check out our website, minotlibrary.org. You can look at our Facebook page. We always make events for everything we've got going on. You can follow us on Instagram. We've got it all going on.
Okay, so you've mentioned this already. This is an all age program, an all age event. It's really a no brainer for kids. Like I have a young daughter. She loves bedtime books. So it's really easy for us to participate as parents with our children. But why should like a teen, a teenager, or maybe a young adult participate in this sort of reading program? What's the benefit for them?
Well, I mean, the prizes, not everybody gets a prize, especially with adults. It's just the grand prizes, which are pretty good this year. They're gas gift cards and grocery gift cards, which is just fabulous. But really, you should read all the time. So we're trying to incentivize it a little bit during the summer. But reading, it gets your core going. It gets your mind going. And the more you read, the more great ideas you're going to come up with. And you can always utilize those in your life.
So what about those adults maybe that aren't as comfortable with technology? You mentioned there's an app, there's a website for Beanstack for logging all of these books and pages that you're reading. But this year there's a less requirement for the need for the digital world. What if someone didn't have access to a device or computer? What if they just didn't, they just don't dig the technology side of things? Are there options for them?
Of course there are. If you don't dig it, just put the books you've read on a piece of paper, put your name on it, put your phone number on it. We will figure it out. We want everyone to be able to participate.
Well, so this is a big kickoff event. June 1st again is the kickoff event at the Minot Public Library. A lot of pomp, a lot of circumstance, a lot of fun for especially kids happening on June 1st. But this isn't the only thing happening this summer with the Minot Public Library. What else should we expect as we roll into 2021?
You should expect lots of community partners. So they're going to be at the kickoff. We're going to have this kindness nights program where the kids are going to get out of the library and go do something good for the community. We have family story times where we're going to have guest readers of different professions. So we have a police officer coming and a firefighter and a doctor, and we're really working hard to be a part of the community, but also teach everyone about the community. We also have some great stuff right now. We just signed up with Hoopla. If you're not familiar with that, it's amazing. So you can download movies and like TV shows and e-audiobooks using that. It's all for free, just using your library card. We have our Libby app, which is fantastic with audiobooks, magazines, graphic novels, comic books, and those ebooks. So that is another great resource, just using your library card. And something that isn't new, but I want everyone to know about it because I feel like they don't, are our state park passes that you can rent for 1 week using your library card, and they'll let you into any state park in North Dakota.
The benefits of a library card, it's more of a passport than anything. I've found as I got my first one when I joined the city. I really dig the audiobooks on the Libby app, but you guys have expanded so much over the last couple of years, especially after this past year. I know, talking with your boss Janet Anderson, the director at the Minot Public Library, she's very prideful that we were the only library in the state that didn't close down during the pandemic. For you as a children's librarian, you're very hands-on with these
Yes.
kids. You do a lot of activities. Did you learn anything over the last year professionally that you think might carry on, and just the different way of how you guys do things going forward?
I think I learned two things. One is how much I really, really miss the kids when they're not here. I had no idea it would be so hard. Second is just that we don't have to do everything the way we always have. We can do those kits. We can do sleepy stories online, which we're going to continue this summer. But we can do anything that we do with the kids, we can figure out a way to do it without the kids too.
My daughter really appreciated a lot of the steam bags that you did. We look forward to participating in your summer reading program as well as a family. I've read more now in the last 4 years than I have probably in the preceding 29. So she gets all the credit for that. Is there anything else that you'd like us to know before I cut you loose, Randy? Anything at all about the public library? What you're doing in the children's library?
I just want you to know that it's going to be okay. We're going back to normal. We are going to have all the kids here. It's going to be chaos and it's going to be totally awesome. We're so excited for summer this year.
Yeah, I think we all are. After the last year, this might be a really nice return, that's for sure. Okay, thank you so much, Randy. I appreciate you taking time to join me this morning. Now, that's Randy Monley, our children's librarian at the Minot Public Library, one of our most engaging, and you'll never convince me otherwise of this. The library is one of our most underutilized community assets in the entire city, and she's one of the key personalities behind it. Thanks again, Randy. Good luck with the summer reading program. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Derek.
Now, coming up this week ahead, the other season is still in effect until further notice, and that's construction season. Here's what you should know this week ahead as you plan your commutes. Very similar to the last week. We're going to have work on Elk Drive and on Sunset. Those continue with some mill and overlay projects. We have patching all across the city. The real upsetting part for most people's drive will be on Burdick. Underground work is still moving along on Burdick. Crews have been bursting out those old water lines on the ground. The corridor is very tight over there. It's a head-to-head traffic. It moves pretty smoothly, especially without any traffic signals. But please drive slowly and carefully. There's human beings out there working, and there's a temporary crosswalk near the hospital's emergency room that people are trying to shuffle back and forth with various needs and having various conditions typically go into the ER. So please yield for pedestrians. Please be careful. Don't be in too big of a rush as you're moving through on Burdick. And that goes for all of our other construction pockets across the city. If you're looking for detours that are maybe impacting your commute this week ahead, you can go ahead and go to our detours map. It's minetnd.org/road closures. We have all of it outlined there. It's updated every week for you. It's updated now. You can go check that out. If you're looking to see what else we're doing throughout the rest of the season for projects, well, that one's pretty easy to find as well. A map, interactive map at minetnd.org/projects. That'll outline everything. One thing you're going to want to know when we get closer to July is chip sealing all across the city. These are quick, but they can be a little bit disruptive, especially if you are very reliant on street parking. I'll give you a little heads up before that starts, but it goes pretty quickly. So that's all coming up this week ahead. Also this week ahead, the City Council, kind of an unprecedented meeting week for them. It's usually an off week for them after, the fourth week of the month. They will meet twice, once on Monday. That one's to discuss one single topic. It's economic development. You can expect the city manager, Harold Stewart, to discuss, to unleash some of his knowledge and some of his vision for the community-wide economic development strategies that you will see us rolling out in the future and the fit the city has within it. This meeting will be live, and it's mostly just informational for council. But although you never know what may come up in the conversation with those local politicians, you can, of course, tune in to find out on that. The other meeting will be on Thursday. That one will not be live because it is a moving tour for City Council. They've had two this past week. It's budget tours for council. This one coming up on Thursday will be day 3. Mostly it's departments and divisions within the city highlighting the services that they render and the future visions they have for a lot of those services. I'll be one of the people providing a pretty quick 15-minute presentation coming up on Thursday. You're going to have to be live in person at City Hall to see that bad boy. Oh, it's probably going to be really entertaining. I actually have no idea what I'm going to do yet. We'll get to that this week ahead as well. So that's going to do it for me on This Week Ahead. Of course, thank you once again for joining me. This is the final call for anyone to provide feedback to us about how we communicate to you on behalf of the city. Our survey will close on Monday, and I hope to provide results to the council very soon. Please take like 2 minutes to fill that out. It's 10 quick questions just to kind of gauge where you guys get your information, how you get your information, and how you feel we're doing getting you your information. Go to minetnd.org/minotpio. And of course, keep up to date with everything we're doing. We have newsletters that go out weekly. One big one that comes out every 2 weeks. It's called The Latest. You can get that at minetnd.org/the latest. If you want to add to that, of course, follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. That's at City of Minot. On YouTube, it's cityofminot.nd. Thanks for joining me. And of course, have yourself a great week ahead.